Hey everyone, Let's Play Die here. Today we're going to be reviewing some gameplay, my own gameplay, and we're going to be looking at it critically and trying to find all the mistakes that we could possibly make. Alright, so I think I remember how this game went down, but what we're going to do is we're going to look at every single engagement that occurred, and we're going to really criticize and see what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit. So I do decide to go to Tilted because I actually never went to Tilted since it got blown up. I tried multiple times and got killed immediately because for a while just everyone was going here. Turns out Tilted is not good anymore. It's pretty bad. So there's that. The first thing I do is I get a shotgun. We're gonna fast forward a bit to the first fight here. I also get minis. So it clearly not the worst drop in the world if I'm the only one here. I do know that one other guy landed though. That was something I did check on coming into Tilted, is I always look around and see if there's anyone else there. And then you can hear the guy, you can hear the door, and you can hear that's above us. So I'm gonna come through the window. The goal is to play aggressive. The goal is the faster we die, the faster we learn. So I see the floor he puts up there, and I'm just gonna bust through it. So I know it's safe to bust through because I can also hear him building, right? So if I back it up just a little bit, I'm coming up, you can hear him breaking for materials, which means it's perfectly safe to just go aggressive. There he is. He misses all the shots, luckily. I decide to make an aggressive move, push, and then one more, and we get the kill. Turns out he didn't have a shotgun. All he had was these dual pistols. So I think this move worked out pretty well. Considering I didn't even get touched. So I'm pretty happy with that play. One thing I was trying to think about was if I could jump on this doorway and then shoot down at him. I feel like using the doorways really throws people off. But when I made the jump, I missed it. I was a little short. So if we watch that again. So I got surprised by him here, crouched, held, paused, and then I was going to go for the doorway, but ended up just using to hide behind it instead. And then a quick rush because I knew he wouldn't be ready if I just made the quick play. That's the first fight. Not too much to learn there. Let's go to the second fight. All right. So moving through Tilted, I do notice a guy down here. The first shot I make with the AR are just a blatant miss. And I gotta get way better at hitting my AR shots. My flick aim is terrible. Even my tracking is terrible. But the second shot looks to be right on him, but it looks like the truck, that little piece of the truck, actually saves him from getting hit. So I was pretty disappointed with myself missing both those shots. But oh well. So what I'm going to do is my thought process is I'm building up. The higher I get, the good. So I build a ramp, and now we have a nice angle. You can see he's drinking some minis. Right there, I hesitated a little bit. And I think the reason why, let's look at that again. So I watched him drink the minis, and I was like, oh shit, he's drinking minis, I gotta shoot him. But just the delay it took me to recognize that. But right here, I should be ready to aim down and shoot at him, because I have the angle, I have every advantage, and I have every right to shoot at him. But for some reason, what I do instead is I run up this ramp and I just survey and see what's going on. And it's very safe, it's okay, but I missed out on a crucial opportunity here to be able to shoot at him. So I think potentially this was the wrong play. The alternative is he could have been aiming up at me and looking for that shot. And if he was, then I could have gotten hit. But in this situation, it's way easier for me to hit him than him to hit me. So I think it was still okay to peek out, to go straight for the shot. So either way, I missed opportunity. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to pressure him. He's hiding down there. I got the gas grenades. Love me some gas grenades. Hits him for about 15 damage there. He does something interesting here. He goes full on like crazy in terms of building in every single which direction, and it really throws me off. And I think this is actually a tactic that I could use if I'm ever on the low ground getting pressured from above, is just build like a wild child and just build everywhere which way possible. So that's exactly what he does, and I can see he's building some walls here. I think maybe he's going to box up, but no, you could see him running back and forth. I'm trying to wait to see if he's going to do some weird stuff or box up or something, but he's playing this very guerrilla warfare style, which makes it very difficult. I think at a certain point, I could have just dropped down and gone for the kill. Instead, I'm holding high to see what moves he makes. And sure enough, he does make a move. But this is really obvious to be able to predict. Those AR shots were just so off. So, yeah, AR shots just way off. I think that grenade hits for 5. Again, he's making some dumb plays. For some reason, my shotgun does 0 damage, though. So that's great. Let's look at that shot, that shotgun shot, see if that was actually a good shot or not. So that was a pretty good shot. It looks like because he was jumping to the side, the bullets came out at a strange angle and only hit part of him. I think that could have hit for a lot harder if maybe if I didn't shoot so quickly. So I missed that shot there. So here I'm going to, I know he's pressured, so I'm going to go for the push because I hit him for what, 30 with the gas, another 50 on the shield. So I know he's down about 80 health. And he still has shields there. So one thing I could do right here, which I don't, is build a wall. And one thing I don't do well is, especially when I'm in these kinds of situations, to use builds to react. And so one thing I could have done here is build a quick wall, then edit it, and then shoot him. Instead, I go for the finish with the SMG. And what that does is now we're on equal ground. So now he can shoot back at me while I shoot at him. I know I have the advantage in this situation, so I'm pretty confident I'm going to win this fight. But with regards to winning the fight with taking as least less damage as possible, just a straight up fight is not good enough. And he gets a very, very nice dual pistol shot on me. I think what I would have liked to see there is, again, in this position, if I'm going to play aggressive, to go for a shot and then react with the build, right? Go for the wall and then the edit and then another shotgun shot. But instead, we take a ton of damage. We still win the fight, but we take a ton of damage. Luckily, this guy has hella minis, and we get out of this with some decent resources here. All right, so next engagement. Here we are at Dusty Depot. I'm grabbing some materials. So you can hear here one of those smoke grenade guys, one of the shadow guys. And so what I'm doing is I'm looking for him. You can see him. And what I'm doing is I'm just preparing my shot for him. Because one of the things with the smoke grenades is, A, you could hear it very audibly, but B, they can't actually shoot when they're in that position, and then when they come out of it, they have to switch their gun, then shoot. It makes it really hard to, like, surprise someone, basically. I think they're better used as a defensive tool to get out of situations rather than as an offensive tool to get up in people's faces and shoot them. And I think in general, if you're using them in an aggressive manner, it's not going to work out as well as you'd like, unless you just take someone by surprise, by complete surprise. In this case, I'm not taken by surprise. I know he's coming, so I can look for the shot. I see him, and I somehow tag him for 25. So we know this guy doesn't have a lot of health. At the moment, I think something I need to do better is recognize how much health my opponents have. In this situation, I shot him, but I didn't really realize how much health he had. So I'm going to go ahead and just build like this. Basically, I built a ramp to block any shots and just peek through a little bit. When I saw he wasn't there, I edited it, but it's just a bad edit because the edit blocks me. So I definitely got to get better at my ramp edits. So here I'm going to go for a double ramp, and we're going to push for high. Somewhere, I don't know what happened there. Let's back that up. So I'm going to go push for high. And then it looks like I floored myself by accident. And then I'm trying to break out the side now. So that was just a really bad build. One thing I did recently was I changed my keybinds. And I think that's something I'm still getting used to. Now my pointer finger goes to the 3 or the 4 key, and that builds a floor. And so that's something I've been trying to practice and creative to just get used to the keybind. So I think that's what happened there. So here we go. Yeah, you can see I'm having a little bit of trouble building floors. So I'm looking for the guy. Looks like he dropped back down. So I'm going to aggressively chase him. I see him here. He goes for an edit play. And let's look at that again, because I'd like to see what his thought process was. So here he is. He's in the box. One thing I should do immediately is put a pyramid here, because that will prevent him from putting a pyramid, and then we have easier access to him. Instead, I go straight for the break, and he's editing out right here. I think his idea was to edit out of his floor and go for high ground. If we had the pyramid here, it would have like really kind of screwed him. I get on top of him here, and he makes an edit. He misses his shots, but for him, it wasn't a bad play. So what he does is he sees I go for the pickaxe right here, and then he goes for an edit for a quick shot. He misses the shot. That's a shot he could have hit. I hit my shot, and then my second shot, and he misses all shots. So I think in general, it was an okay play on his part. But what I would have liked to see from him, if he was really, really going to do this correctly, is I break this. So sure, he builds up. I build up as well. He edits out here. He goes for the shot, and then he edits it back. He immediately re-edits this floorboard. That would have been the correct play. Instead, he lets me hit my shot and then aggressively come into him. And that is just a big no-no. That's a big no-no. Long story short, don't like his play, but it has merits. Okay, so I'm going to build up. I hear shooting. I'm trying to listen for footsteps because something just went down. I think what I find out is I don't find anything out. I think the guy gets away. And what we see is later on, there he is. We see him building towards the geyser. So I was starting to take shots. I'm missing literally everything. My air shots are something that really needs to get better. Like, really needs to get better. So you could see, like, it's not terribly placed, the reticle. It could potentially be bloom, some of it. But if we look, so that shot was pretty close. That was kind of close. That was kind of close as well. And then that shot would have hit, but he blocks it with the wall. Like, if we were to able tag 30 or so on here. From this point, I kind of am recognizing that this guy, like, I could predict what he's going to do. He's going to come out the top of this ramp. And so what I decided to do, instead of playing defense, he still has to figure out where I am. So he doesn't know where I am yet. He knows I'm shooting from a general direction, but he doesn't see me yet. So what I can do is, while he's trying to look for me, and he's doing this crazy big peek, I can just spam in the direction I know he's going to be, because he's just trying to look for me, but I know he's going to peek out the top. So I got 50 damage on him, 60 damage on him almost. I miss a key opportunity there that happened earlier, where I build these ramps and then I survey instead of building the ramps and immediately looking for the shot. This is 2 times in a row, starting to become a pattern. Which means this is maybe something that some of my behavior I need to change here. But here we go. You can see so much of his head, and I miss all this opportunity because I decided to reload instead. And now the opportunity has disappeared. So I know he's weak. I'm going to push this aggressively. Right there on the right, you can see he dropped out to the right. I did not see that. He's still on my right, and he's moving towards the geyser. So this is just me being absolutely oblivious. I think in general, when pushing, it's important to understand where your opponent is. Instead of just building aggressively at them, always know where they are. That's way more important than building aggressively or building well, is knowing where they are. And so I'm going to go ahead and push this guy again, and he's going to go ahead and geyser, which is fine. I hit a nice shot in the air. So that's that shot. There's another guy shooting at me, and I could chase this guy. In fact, probably the right play was to chase that guy. Instead, I got kind of annoyed at the second guy who's trying to, like, third-party me. So I was like, screw this guy. I'm going to go kill him. What I don't realize is I have no mats. I used all my mats. And so now I'm going to this fight. I've got nothing. And I realize I got nothing. And this guy, and now another guy has jumped on top of me. So these guys are now in a build fight. That guy's got no shields. I realize I got no mats. And when you realize you got no mats, that means get out. That means you're done. And I recognize that. So I'm going to go in this building. I'm trying to get some materials using the guise of the shelter. What I'm going to do, pop this slurp, grab this smoke, and we're going to jump on out of here. So this is what I mean. I think these smokes are really great for getting out, but not so much getting in. So in hindsight, looking at that fight, what I should have done was get materials. Because I didn't have materials, that puts me in a really bad position. And now I have to spend some time farming up and getting materials and healing up again. So luckily I had a ton of heals. Now it's just a matter of getting mats. So we've pretty much fully recovered. We still have 4 minis. So we're in a great position still. But I got no materials, and now it's time to farm. So we're going to go ahead to the next fight, because this is just me farming for a bunch of materials. So once I get about 300, I'm still farming, but I'm looking for my next fight. I see a baller. This guy is lagging to heck. And so I'm just going to put some shots into him. I break his ball here. Oh my god, he has a rocket launcher. So, rocket launchers. You never expect them, huh? So this guy... So there, I try to react with a build. Unfortunately, it's just too slow. I don't think there's a way to actually react any faster. So maybe I could have seen that he had a rocket launcher coming out of his hands. But by the time I see it, it's too late. And so now it's time to build up. And again, I'm having trouble with my floorboards. So it's here, you can see I'm trying to build floor, but it doesn't come out because I'm missing the button. So I guess for that ball, thinking about it now, what I could have done is had something built already. Because we knew a shot was going to come out either way. We knew he was going to shoot as soon as that ball broke. What we didn't know is I had a rocket launcher, but it could have been a shotgun. It could have been a sniper rifle that hit my face. It could have been a boom bow. It could have been any kind of weapon. So the fact that it was a rocket, in this case, probably worst case scenario, but it could have been any weapon. And if I had played this correctly, I would have played around any weapon, which would have meant to build first rather than just shoot out in the open like this. So next time I see a baller and break a baller, I'll make sure to build before I break. All right, so going back to this, so I'm trying to build up. My floorboard keybind sucks, and I'm just trying to get used to it. So I'm having a little bit of struggles here. So I'm gonna go high. What the guy does is he breaks it down. I react with the floor there, and I go for a shot and a build. So this is great. So we recognize that he's on the ground. He's trying to disrupt me with a rocket. There again, I kind of missed my build. But now we know he's below us, so I could go for a quick shot. It only hits for 29 somehow. And a quick react. Then another shot. And then we got the kill. So once we recognized he was below us, and we had a decent position over us, this was actually a really great kill. Shot, react. Shot, I would have liked to see a floorboard here. I think I was trying to go for the floorboard, but I was having struggles with my keybind. And so somehow you can actually see my trap is equipped right now. So from here, I recognize I got no HP. I'm going to go down to this building here, and I find a magical room filled with bananas. Like, filled with bananas. What the heck? How lucky can you get? And so I eat all the bananas, and now we are somewhat okay, in an okay position to keep on fighting. So here we go. We're going to see our next engagement here. There's a baller. That was a really slow reaction to the baller. You could hear the baller right here. And immediately I should have turned to look at the ball. But instead I'm just like oblivious. So I'm going to turn. I'm going to finally see the baller. We're going to break the baller. This guy's panic building. So I'm going to go for some clingers to hopefully disrupt him. Right there. What I could have done was go for a wall break. But instead I had to go for the second clinger. So I'm not sure if that is a mistake or not. If I went for the wall break, it wouldn't have mattered because he moved backwards. But then I would have had extra clinger, so now I could clinger this building. So I think it would have been the right call. I'm trying to get into my stupid ramp here. And we're just going to double ramp up to this guy. So he tries to clinger me. Instead, he clingers himself. Genius. And now we're just looking for him. So he's using my own floors as protection. What that means, and what I should have done, is edited this ramp and jumped on top of him. Instead, I jump out to the side. Miss a shot. Miss another shot. Trap him with my floorboard, and then get the kill. So the guy just had bad aim. Really bad aim. And I don't think I played that as well as I could have. So the thought process here was to get a shot, get a shot here, and then place a floorboard above my head. But I'm not low enough down to get it above my head, so I get above his head. And now we're in an awkward position. He goes for a hand cannon shot, which is psycho because he has a freaking pump shotgun and a suppressed AR. But anyway, we get the kill. So looking back on this fight, what I would have liked to see is instead of jumping down to the side here, to be able to look through the floorboards. We see him there. I didn't really see him in the game, but we could have seen him there. Gone for the edit on this ramp. Jumped on top of him. Easy shot in the back of the skull. And it would have been a very easy kill. Follow up with SMG. Instead, we shotgun follow up with the AR instead of our SMG, so that's another mistake. He misses. And then we get the kill. To the floorboard's credit, I think the floorboard above his head did throw him off a little bit because he was trying to move a little bit. So I don't think that floorboard actually ended up being that bad. There's a guy in this building. I am trying to get a snipe on him, but I am actually awful with the sniper rifle. So I'm waiting for him to stand still. And he's just like doing some dance up here. So finally stand still. I take that shot. And let's look at where the cursor actually was when I took the shot. Yeah, so it's a little bit up to the left. So that was a blatant miss. This guy also is oblivious, though, and doesn't realize that I am literally still behind him. He's still focused on the guys next to him. So I go for another shot here. Let's look at this shot. Yeah, so he just dodges it. Anyway, so I go in and we edit into his build. This guy gets so surprised that he freaks out. And this is interesting because I wasn't actually expecting to fall into his box. But I placed the pyramid here, which is the right call. The main reason I placed the pyramid is because I was having trouble with the floor, to be honest. But I place the pyramid, we edit in, and then somehow his wall breaks, which allows us to come in. Let's see that again. Pyramid. And I just like fall through his floor. It's very strange. Anyway, so I get the kill on him, and that's that. So we're going to break out the side here, and I'm still having trouble with the floorboards, so I end up shooting by accident. And now we look for our next guy, who's going to be up here. So I'm looking, and I know he's up there somewhere. I also know I have circle, which means I could stay, chill, and win. But the quicker you fail, the quicker you learn. So we're going to go ahead and push this guy. He's building a 1x1. What I decided to do was instead of use all of my materials, we were going to go for a geyser play. I think this is just wrong because this basically, like, this guy's actually able to laser me in the face. He hits a 70 damage headshot right there, which is just not great. I think if I had enough materials to try to build him out. So maybe that would have been the better call. But it was just a very nice shot. So right there, the reason I died was the keybind. What I was going to do was, so he dropped me on top of him like this. So go for a quick shot and then floorboard right there. floorboard and ramp. But I couldn't figure out where the freaking floorboard key was. So I go there, and then I'm trying to go for floorboard, but I just miss it. Holy moly, that was becoming a 32-minute recording. I think I'll go ahead and leave this video off here. Hopefully, guys, you enjoyed that self-analysis. If you did, appreciate if you left a like. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Boom.